Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a beer, it's time for some PathOfExile discussion. Today, I wanted to talk about an uncommon Scarab modifier and how to get maximum usage out of it. If you're using Awakened Sextants a lot, you will occasionally find the mod that is rolled on this Crimson Watchstone. The first 3 possessed monsters drop an additional Gilded Scarab. Areas contain an additional Tormented Betrayer. And you'll see that I got 1 use of it remaining. And what I wanted to do is showcase a little bit of gameplay as to how you can optimize that when you do get it. This is not a jackpot sextant roll, but it is a genuinely good sextant roll when you get it. Additionally, this comes in 3 other versions. There is a rusted tier, which comes from the bottom tier sextants. There is a polished tier, which comes from prime sextants, and there is a very, 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 very rare winged Scarab tier, which comes from the Maven only sextants. So that is the elevated sextants that drop from the Maven. The rarity of this mod, the normal tiers of it, so not the winged tier, it'll come up about 1 in 76 sextants that you use, whereas the one that's Maven exclusive is much rarer because it's much better. It's something like 1 in 400 sextants that will use it. So what we're going to do is simply combine a map that is a fairly open layout. And for this, I'm going to use a Burial Chambers, but you can use anything else. Now, the first thing you would do, if you had this on a region-locked Watchstone, you're forced to run it where it is. And I'm just going to pretend, even though mine is on a Crimson Watchstone, and the strictly optimal play would be to move it over here to Lex Proxima and use the easy mode that is the Seance mod, we're going to pretend that this is actually on a region-locked Watchstone instead, because I think it's more useful to demonstrate it that way. So we're stuck with a Lexajoris map, and I've picked Burial Chambers just because it's fairly wide open, and there's also not very many situations where you're accidentally killing monsters around corners. Additionally, I've picked up a Torment Scarab. Now, I'm using a Gilded one. It doesn't have to be Gilded. You can use a Polished or a Rusted for this. One thing, though, that is important is if you do use a Rusted one, it's a little bit easier to stuff up, and you'll get to see what I mean in a sec. So, we're going to load this. I'm not going to use a Zana mod. I'm going to use a Nico mission just because I happen to want a Nico mission, not because there's any benefit here. I just want the Sulfite. And then we're going to go into this Burial Chambers map. What we're looking for is telltale signs of the Torment ghosts around. And we're not going to try and kill anything off screen like you normally would. So normally I'd be firing off attacks already, but instead I'm just looking around to see, is there anything that shows off a Tormented Spirit? Now that I've ascertained there's not, I can kill all these monsters. But we're going to be taking this map quite slow, and that's because Scarabs are actually worth something now. They're definitely quite valuable, especially Gilded and up. So there's a ghost, and so I've stopped attacking long enough to let it get into a monster, and then it's just as simple as kill that monster, and there we go. Unfortunately, I don't think, actually no, Gilded Elder Scarabs are worth something this league, I think. Even if they're not, it's still a Scarab that can be used in the Scarab switcheroo recipe that was discovered recently. Link to that will be in the video description below. But basically, 2 of the same Scarab plus a Horizon Orb is a different Scarab of the same tier. So 2 Rusted Piranda Scarabs plus a Horizon Orb sold to a vendor in 1 transaction will give you a random Rusted Scarab, which could be a Rusted Harbinger Scarab if you're lucky. And this same recipe works for other tiers as well. So still just looking around. Because there's a total of 8 ghosts on this map, we don't need to be super careful, because if we stuff up and kill a couple of the ghosts by mistake, it's not the end of the world. And there we go. There's something ghosted, and we actually succeeded. Because we didn't kill things fast, we succeeded in letting it get into a rare monster, and that's all we're trying to do here. At this point, we've killed all of the ghosts that are likely to be in this section of the map, so we're just going to finish up the rest of the map as though it was just an ordinary map and we were just killing everything on the way, and then we'll just check if there's anything here. Now, corners like this can be a bit tricky. Corners like this you can lose a ghost in, and that is the reason that I don't like this strategy with a Rusted Piranda Scarab, and especially with how cheap the Polished Piranda Scarabs are in a trade league. Use a polished one if possible. That said, if you're in solo self-found, you may not have that luxury. you may be forced to use one that is not the optimum. And there's our ghost again. We're just going to wait around, kite for a little, see if there's any rare monsters here. There may actually not be a rare monster for it to possess. There isn't, so that ghost is unfortunately wasted. But again, we have extras, so we don't really care that much. And that's why, again, Gilded Gilded Torment Scarabs, if you've got them, but Polished will do the job. So now we're going to keep coming down here. Here's a ghost, and it successfully ghosted a monster, and that's actually all we need. That was our third and final random Scarab we're going to get in this zone, because although there are more monsters to ghost, they're not going to provide us with any additional Scarabs, because we've already claimed the 3 of them that are available here. So that's the strategy. I'll continue doing it in the rest of the video just to showcase, even though I'm not going to get any more rewards, just to demonstrate the strategy a little bit more. And while we're doing that, we can also pick up these. We've gone past these monsters, ascertained that there's nothing, there's no ghosts in the area, and there's a monster that we successfully ghosted while it was off screen, actually. The ghost saw me, but I didn't see him. I never got close enough to the ghost to see it. There's a monster. There's a ghost pack. There's the ghosted monster. So again, we'll kill that. And hey, that's something's dropped corrupted there for some reason. There's another couple of ghosted rares that we've killed. So certainly something that you can do. I lost a ghost there. That happens. But again, if you're using Polished and up, you'll have enough for sure. Anyway, so that's all I really got in this video. Just a little strategy to get optimum use out of what is an uncommon but not staggeringly rare Sextant mod. If you do get this on a Maven Sextant, so that is on one of the special elevated Sextants that drops only from the Maven, then it is much more lucrative, and you'll want to take extreme care. And you may actually want to go further and also use the Prophecy Tormented Foe, which, if it procs, will cause every unique monster in that map to spawn ghosted. That's much more dangerous, but again, if you're killing the Maven, you're going to be up to that. If you've got any comments or questions, fire away below. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope you have a good one.